Alright, so I'm going to try and do a very short video today. I'm going to be doing it on the MXR bass compressor. It is based off of the 1176, which is a classic studio compressor that I used a lot in school. And I own one of the Warm Audio WA76 compressors. And eventually I will do a video on it. It's just, it'll be... I'm going to focus on the guitar stuff and the synthesizer stuff for a bit, and then, in a few weeks, maybe a few months, I'll start going down the studio hole with you guys once I figure something out with the screen capture software, so I can get Pro Tools and I can have multiple angles of my face and the studio equipment as well. But we're going to talk about this compressor for now. It has the same functions as the 1176 compressor. It's got the attack, it's got the release, it's got the input, it's got the output, and it's got the ratio. It doesn't have an all buttons in mode, but it does have the 20 ratio, which the 1176 also has. On the 1176 you can push all the buttons at once and get them all to stick in and have a really super squashed limiter setting. But keep in mind, any ratio setting above 10 is already a limiter, so you don't really have to worry about that ratio setting not being on here of the all buttons in. So this compressor was initially used or designed and intended for bass players, but guitar players loved it too. So they released a new one that's black and says studio compressor instead of bass, because guitar players hate things that say bass on them. This sounds great on the 8-string guitar, it sounds great on clean guitar, and it's great on bass. I'm not going to do any bass stuff for this today. Maybe I'll do another video of it on the bass later. But I was just playing around with it because I wanted something to tighten up the signal while I play straight into my amplifier with the distorted channel. So when a lot of guys use a high gain amplifier, such as the 5150, a dual rack, any other Mesa Boogie, an Angle, they'll stick a tube screamer or some overdrive with the gain backed off and stuff, just as kind of more of a clean boost in front of their signal. So what I'm going to do today is I've got my Marshall 6100 set to the 3rd channel, which is the high gain channel, not the crunch channel, the high gain, and I'm going to play with it. I'm going to do some playing without the pedal, and I'll play with the pedal. So here's the noise signature of the pedal when you turn it on. Now it could also be the settings I have. Yeah, so because I got the output up, it really affects the noise floor. So I'll turn that down. I'll leave the input gain up, so it really compresses it. With an 1176 style compressor, I'm not sure if they've really replicated it with this, but the way you drive the compressor is with the input gain, and that's how you get the gain reduction to really go. Like usual, I'm not really going to play with the settings. I'm going to, well, too much. I usually leave my ratio about here. Anything more on guitar and it starts to squish it too much. The attack and release are the way I'd set them on a real one for when I'm mixing and recording. And the output is more to match the level. Alright? So this is my tone without the pedal. I'll do some with the pedal. I changed the strings because I was complaining in a video or two ago that this had dead strings and I didn't like the 10s. So I have a set of 9s, 9 of 65s on here by D'Addario, and it really brings it to life. I still don't like the pickups. I'm 100% sure I'm going to change them. It's just now a matter of what. I'm thinking of maybe juggernauts, or I have one blackout for the bridge. I'm thinking of getting a second blackout and just putting blackouts in here and having real hard hitting guitar. This is a mahogany body and a poplar burl top. 5-piece maple neck. I think it's rosewood or something else for the for the other strips. I'm not sure. Anyway, so now I'll play with the bass compressor, something similar. Alright, so that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really great addition. In my other video where I was playing this guitar, and when I had this off in this video, you could hear, because the pickups are very low output compared to EMGs or Juggernauts or anything else that people really use for modern guitar, or modern 8-string guitar. You can hear how much weaker this sounds without this. Now part of it's also because I have the output up, but the output's really not that high. I have the input gain cranked so that it really hits the compressor hard. So the way a compressor works is when you have a weak signal, it'll take your high peaks and it'll even things out. So it'll bring down the high peaks and even it out with the stuff that doesn't go so good. So if you have like a weak kind of thing going, but you have a couple strokes of it, it'll sound more like, it'll sound like you picked harder. I mean, it's really up to you on how you want to use this. On my pedal board, I always have a compressor on. It's usually the Boss CS3, but I'm thinking of having this and the CS3 and switching between the two for different sounds. I want this more for clean. I'll do a video on clean guitar and compressors later, so you can really hear the difference between the two. The tube amp already compresses, and you're hearing it high gain through my UAD 4710D. I do have the compressor that's built in, which is an 1176 style circuit, off. It's 100% off, so you're not getting compression from that when you hear these. So you're not hearing anything extra processing. So you really only hear the compression from this pedal. I highly recommend it. I wish it was a little cheaper, but you get what you pay for. The one that's supposedly better than this for an 1176 style is the Kali 76, which I'd love to get my hands on. I just don't want to pay for it. It's about 400 and I think it's 459 Canadian. I don't know. That's like 370, 380 American, I think. This is 279 Canadian, so it's way cheaper. I got this used. All right, so now that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. And I highly recommend this pedal. You use it instead of a tube screamer. It's a little cleaner when you have it on and you're playing versus anything else. So I think it's worth getting for every guitar player and bass player. All right? See you guys next time.